Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now I know you guys have seen these trays before finished. This video is going to be showing the extras from that project. Now first I'm going to paint the baby Bronto, and I'm going to use two different chameleon powders. I'm going to take one and I'm going to dot it around, and then the other one I'm going to just paint over the entire thing and then hope that they mix pretty well. Now both of these chameleon powders are blue, so you're not going to really be able to tell a whole lot of the color difference, but I just wanted to see what they would do. Okay, now I've finished painting that, so I'm going to use some Bond Crafter resin now. I'm going to mix A and B, and I'm going to use my Toyo stand mixer. Now I wasn't sure how much this Bronto would need, so I ended up with extra. That's the whole reason these extras happened. And this is the mixer. Now this is sped up, but it has 3 different speeds. It's hands-free if you want it to be. And then it has an AI mode, which is what I put it on. The AI mode, I think it goes for like 4 minutes, and it does it in one direction and then switches direction. And I think the last minute, like you're supposed to mix resin for like 5 minutes, I think the last minute is when they expect you to take it out of there and then scrape the sides and mix a little bit yourself. So how's everybody enjoying the weather? I know it's not technically fall yet, but lately our weather has been very cool and fallish, and I love it. Now I'm going to take some Tea Expert pigment paste in black and put it in there, because you want black resin behind chameleon powders. Now I'm just going to pour the Bronto, and then once it's full, I realize I have a good bit of resin left, so I just grab a bunch of my random shape molds for jewelry, and I plan on using some of my silicone inlays because I haven't used any of them yet. I chose some hearts and circles, and these molds came from Temu, and I will not be linking them because they are horrible as far as quality. They have scratches and dents all over them, but I plan on top coating, and the scratched parts are going to be the backs, so I'm not too worried about it. I will still use them, but I wouldn't recommend buying from that shop on Temu. So I'm not filling these full because I want to put the inlays in, and normally when you put inlays in, you're putting them in clear and then you're gonna paint them later and then you back in your solid color. Well, I'm doing it in reverse today. I'm putting the inlays on top of that solid color that's going to be the back of the earring, and then I'm going to put my colors in, and then I'm going to put my clear resin on top. Doing it this way is kind of nice because you can see if there are any bubbles under the inlays. You'd be able to see that with the clear also, but if there are any bubbles, they're easier to fix, in my opinion. Now these inlays are dinosaurs. This one is a Triceratops skeleton. It looks like it's a fossil. So this was the Jurassic collaboration, so that's why I was doing everything in dinosaurs. Now I sprayed the inlay with alcohol before I laid it down to keep the bubbles away, and it worked. But I didn't always remember to do it with all of them. That is the Pteranodon. And I only made one Pteranodon one, and that was my favorite one, and I kept it. It's going to be mine forever. And if anybody's interested in purchasing any of my crafts that I do on this channel, I have a shop on Michael's Maker Place website now, and I do have it linked in my description. So you can go on there, and I have these posted. At least some of these are posted on there. I still have yet to put a couple of them up, and I have a few other things like the cat necklaces and some keychains. Now the other two inlays you just saw were a dinosaur footprint, and the other one was a T-Rex skull. This inlay was an ammonite. And this one is a T-Rex skeleton. Now in the larger oval pieces, I put two inlays in there. I put the T-Rex skull and the T-Rex skeleton. Now it's time to demold our baby Bronto, and it turned out pretty good. When I glued it together, the pieces didn't line up completely. There's a gap in the head area, but I'm pretty sure that can be fixed by either heating it up and bending it into place and then putting some more glue there, or I could just fill it in with UV resin. And he's just so adorable and cute. I guess I like the Brontos, because I grew up watching Land Before Time and Littlefoot. Alright, now we're going to take these inlays out. I just use tweezers to get underneath them if I have issues. And there's what they look like. That will be the front. And I did notice that the black was really light behind them. I think I should have put a thicker layer or maybe more of that pigment paste in there. It wasn't dark enough. Now I'm looking for a mica powder, and I choose a chameleon one because I figured it'll look really good against the black. And the only thing I regret about the mica powder part is the cleanup. I probably should have mixed the mica powder with alcohol, and then it would have watered it down and it would have just ran into the spots I needed it to, and then I wouldn't have had powder everywhere to clean up. Now this mica powder is a green gold. I figured that'd be a good tone for dinosaur fossils. I don't know why, but I did. I feel like the mica powder didn't stand out enough. You really have to look at the pendants to see the fossil. Like if you're far away, you're not going to see the fossil. You just see the abalone shell that I put around it. But it still looks good either way. It kind of gives you like this peekaboo vibe. It reminds me of back in the day we had these things called pogs. And they were like these little round pieces of cardboard with imagery on them. And it was a game. And you had these bigger pieces that were made of plastic or metal, and they were called slammers. And you would take the slammer and you would slam it down on the pogs, and then whatever pogs flipped over, I think you were meant to keep. As in, if they were somebody else's, you were taking their pogs, but that's how the game went. And I had one of those thick slammers that had a fish on it. And it was like this holographic sticker that made it look like it was three-dimensional. It was so cool. I wish I could find those stickers now. I tried looking them up, but I can't find them. Now I'm just putting a layer of UV resin over top of just the area that's indented from the inlays. And I'm just using a silicone tool to spread it out to where I need it to go. Now, some other options you can use other than the abalone shell around the inlay areas, you could use glitter, you could use sand. I probably should have used some sand with some of the abalone shell. I think it would have looked good. You can use whatever you want in there. Now I'm just going to cure these under the UV light, so that way they're nice and hard and I can put the next layer on. And that's what they look like so far. Now it's time to put the different abalone shell in. Now, I had more abalone shell than this, but these are the ones I could find at the moment. Now I know where the rest of them are, so I have more options now. The one I'm using right here is my favorite. It is like a aqua teal color, and it just pops the minute you put it under the resin. That orange one there is very nice fall color one. I might be using that in some of my jewelry I'm going to be making. Also, when I was doing this, I was fighting with the UV light coming through my window. It was curing some stuff before I could even finish it. So you will see me at some point where it gets darker because I had to block the window. And putting these shells in on top, just above where the inlays were, it makes it look like they're actually fossils, like under the ground. Now the big round ones I haven't finished yet because there's a lot of overpour on them. I'm probably going to have to take a Dremel to them. And then I wanted to use the new sander, so I was going to hold off and wait and till I get one of those and try it out. Now some of the abalone shells were bigger, so I took them and I snapped them into pieces so that it'd be easier to use them. And this is the one that ended up being my favorite with the pteranodon inside. And this is the purple colored abalone shell. I use those for the trikes. And if you're enjoying my video and you would like to see more videos from me, liking and subscribing does a lot of good for my channel. It lets my videos get out there to more people. And it's all free. All you gotta do is like, subscribe. You'll see more of my videos. If you hit the notification bell, it'll tell you when my videos come out. I found that with the abalone shell, if you get a little bit of resin on your tool and you touch one of them, that'll pick them up really easy. Some of them were giving me some difficulty, but for the most part, just dabbing some resin on that, it grabs them right up. Now these abalone shells came from Temu. I haven't really looked much on Amazon. I know Amazon has thicker ones that are more like little pebbles, and they're pretty, but I feel like they would weigh your jewelry down more. So I'm not sure if they have these thin ones on there. I'd imagine they would. They'd be under probably nail art. And all I've been doing is putting a layer of resin on, UV resin, and then putting the shells inside the UV resin, and then when I'm all done, I'll cure them all. I feel like the trikes turned out really well also, but the purple is really dark and it's hard to see until you're like up close. And those two smaller circles, I didn't put any inlays in there because they're a bit small for inlays. I figured I could use those for something else later on. And I did speed these clips up quite a bit, so I just spent a lot of time placing these shells in. Here I am using my tool to break some of the shell apart. So you don't have to pick them up with your hands and break them apart. You could always just press down on them. They're so thin. Now a couple of the end steps I didn't record, like curing them. And then when I took them out of the molds, I did a top coat. And then I also did a back coat with some UV resin with a little bit of my black mica powder mixed in. I just wanted that black to be darker so the colors would show better. Well, I hope you liked my video. Here are the finishing shots of the necklaces. I think they look gorgeous, and I really love the Pteranodon one. It's my favorite. But they all look pretty cool with the abalone shells. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.